So we got my data. I've got the data that I took in. I screened out some, got some in. I say, okay, where have I seen this before? But perceive, interpret, conclude, act. Scooting up the ladder. I'm going to tell you a ladder story, and then each of you is going to be invited to find a ladder story of your own. I'll probably tell you two. So here's my first one. First one, again, is a brand new junior high school, middle school principal. And as I'm wandering through the preschool, my superintendent said to me, you need to do two things. Bend with the wind, you know who this is. Bend with the wind, and I didn't know what that meant, and control the school. Okay, bend with the wind I learned later, really had some import, but I didn't get it back then. But he said control the school. So I started making up handbooks. I made up custodial handbooks, teacher handbooks, student handbooks, parent handbooks. I thought a handbook, I could control everybody, right? Let them read the handbooks. So I'm running around doing this stuff, all these handbooks. So school starts, and it's the second week of school. It's a Monday morning. I remember this like it happened yesterday. And I get there to be on the bus ramp because I spent 20-odd years on the bus ramp. That's what you do. You learn about your community out there on the bus ramp in the morning. So I'm out there on the bus ramp. I see all the kids getting off the bus. They tell me everything going on. Then I do the parent drop-off, then walkers, and I get to the back of the school. Second bell rings, school's in session. I start looking down the hallways. I can't see any kids. This is a what? Good thing. Okay? They're in the boxes with the teachers. This is good. Okay? So I wander now down towards my office. I hit a few bathrooms on the way, make some noise, let them know I'm checking. Right? Get down to my office, go in there, sit down, put my feet up on my desk, light a cigarette, and get a cup of coffee. I didn't look anything like I look right now. Anything. And so I'm sitting there thinking, oh, what a good boy am I. Out in the hallway, I hear, boom. Well, I leap from my desk with my cape flowing. I race out into the corridor, and there's a kid at the end of the corridor punching and kicking and swearing at a water cooler. Now, where have I seen this before? Well, I've seen kids act dopey before. Okay, here I come. He actually looked like you, Jack. So I'm going to pick on Jack. So there's this kid kicking, kneeing, and swearing at the water cooler. So I'm going down the hallway. I mean, what else could you do? There he is. I've seen it before. What does it mean to me? Interpretation, nothing good. Conclusion, kill the kid. Okay? So I'm going after him. Action. Here I go, running down to get him. I get all the way down there, and I go, I got to cover the mic. Hey! You know, I had that voice. You probably have heard that voice before if you've been in schools, haven't you? Someone has that voice in all high schools in America. Hey! School board property. What would your parents think? So I gave them 30 seconds of my best. Teachers are opening doors and they're looking out their door. I'm teaching an object lesson for the entire junior high school, right? At the end of the 30 seconds, this kid is just holding the water cooler and staring at it while I'm giving him, you know, what for. Well, he rips his face up at me at the end. He stares me in the eye and he says, my granddaddy just died. What was I missing? A little piece of data. If I'd let it get through the screen, I still would have gone down and done something about what he was doing, but I would have behaved differently. See what I mean? Ladder story. Ladder story 2 is from Connecticut. I'm working with a group of, these were county employees, and it was about 40 of them. And they were trying to learn about learning conversation, which is where you are. You're in the midst of that right now. What's a learning conversation? What's it look like? This woman says, I got a ladder story for you, Ray. So she stands up and talks to the whole group. She says, I'm checking out of the supermarket. And as I'm checking out, I'm online, and I got my groceries. And I have twin girls, 5 years old. Beautiful little girls, okay? Kind of holding on the side of her pants or skirt or she had on. She's checking out. They're with her. Now, as she's checking out, and online to check out, in front of her is a woman also with a basket. But the woman, if she weighed a pound, she weighed 400. She was an enormous woman, a big woman. One of the twins goes, in a 5-year-old voice, which you all know, Mommy, Mommy, look at the big cow. So she immediately starts to apologize to the woman in front of her. Oh, I'm so sorry, I don't know why, and the woman's kind of looking over her shoulder at her, right? The other twin's pulling on her, and she goes, what? And she points up in the ceiling, and guess what's up there? A big cow drinking a glass of milk. Which is what this 5-year-old was trying to point out in the first place, okay? What was mom missing? A little piece of data. Okay, so here's your job, and again, this is an invitation for a stand-up conversation. I'd like you to now talk in pairs, if you could please, standing. Each of you please find a ladder story of your own where you came to a conclusion, but you were missing a little piece of what? Data. Ready, set, go. Stand-up conversation with somebody right in your tabletop. Come up with a ladder story. Most people get up to come to work every day and they say, I'm going to go there and try and have a good day. I'm going to try and get something valuable out of this day. I'm going to try and contribute somewhat to what's going on. Or they might just drive to work and listen to the radio. But they're not showing up trying to hurt it. Therefore, this is a big systems edge for us to play with when we come back. 95% of the people working in the system do the best they can, given what they know and the condition of the system. The ladder of inference helps us understand that very often people will come to dramatically different conclusions with exactly the same data set. It doesn't make them bad. It's an opportunity for you to build common understanding. What we actually have learned, ladies and gentlemen, in this work is if we can't build common understanding, we can't have alignment and we can't have engagement. As a young leader, I would stand in front of those 200 teachers and talk to them for 45 minutes once a week. That was the standard. It was expected. You held a faculty meeting. I gave them my best. I did big agendas. I planned them. I worked on them like crazy, and I sent them on out. After my 45 minutes, I would always say, are there any questions? And always one person would, and always the same person, right, would ask you this insane little question, right? Then they would leave, go out into the campus, and do 200 different things. And I would start to think, judgment up the ladder, something's wrong with them. What I actually learned, gang, is something was wrong with the way I was constructing those meetings and the way I was pulling feedback to myself. Once I understand the ladder and I accept the fact that people are going to do the best they can, whatever understanding they go out the door with is what they're going to work with. If I don't provide opportunity to build that common understanding, there's no way I can have alignment. Engagement is slipping too, but there's no way I can have alignment.